loves. Today we're going to be talking about multiple things. We're going to be talking about sex, trauma, intimacy issues, and stuff like that. Just basically. Again, I'm just giving you my perspective of this and how I am dealing with this because, well, y'all will come to. And I have mentioned some things in the masturbation video as well, but some things it's a little bit complicated. Okay, so here's the thing. I've had this weird ass relationship with sex, and it's been a very humble experience now because I'm learning a lot about myself. I've had this insane relationship with sex. Because one, I was raped when I was 7 by my domestic help. From 8 to about 12, I was molested by my cousin brother and sister, and well, there was trauma, and I just didn't know how to deal with the trauma. And I believe everyone deals with it differently. However, for me, I dealt it in a 360 degrees, whereas people would be more fragile or scared or more, I don't know, to sex. I was more, I want to do it. I want to see, I want to experience it. That was me. And again, I'm going to tell you this is my personal experience. So I was very sexually aware, and also I wanted to have sex, but consensual sex. However, having this, I always thought that sex was supposed to be because of then I didn't have the correct notion of it. I wasn't introduced or whatever to it properly, clearly. And I assumed porn was the Bible. Wow. Blasphemy at best. But anyway, so I assumed that, and I assumed that sex was supposed to be me pleasuring the partner and me performing and they enjoying rather than me. So every relationship, everything, every fling that I had was for them. And invariably during this period of time, I never actually enjoyed sex, and I was actually quite bored. And somewhere, I think after a while, subconsciously I realized that I just wanted to hurt myself, because other than the first 2 relationships that I was in, so 2 relationships, and then I was with a couple of people, and now I am in a relationship. But in between that fraction of time, I never realized the trauma that was inside of me till my second relationship, because I was still in love with the partner, and I believe that he also loved me. So there wasn't any triggers, right, to use the word, I'm assuming, for me to feel anything. So even though I would have sex, I would, and even though I loved him or them at that point of time, I would get bored out of it, and I would focus more on them. But once both the relationship was over and I just started meeting people, and I wasn't in a relationship or a kingship or any of those things, and we were just having sex, is when I realized how much trauma was there inside of me. Because every time we would have sex, again, all of this is no one's fault but my own, because I never realized it, and I always did things for other people. I don't know if this makes sense, So then every person that I did meet eventually led up to after sex. It could be just maybe, subconsciously, but just like them putting my head down or doing it from the back or something like that, which would trigger me. And after the act, I would be in the bathroom crying. And I never realized how subconscious this was, because it would happen over and over and over again. Because there was this one time, before I was in this relationship, I was with a partner, and I wanted, and I felt all the feelings that I felt inside of me, and he was kissing me, and I was like all feeling it, all the horniness inside, to be honest. But as soon as he put his dick inside of me, I was dry. I had to keep telling myself, Natasha, this is not rape. Natasha, this is not rape. You want this, you want. But I was just not wet. And for me to And that was something which was very weird because I am someone who naturally has a lot of discharge. And I also realized how much my mind and my heart was not connected to this, because I had this bridge, I had like a break in my own mind about this. And I realized how much I was hurting myself, because when people wanted to be intimate, I couldn't be, and I'm talking about emotionally. Physically, I'm like, yeah, let's do it, babe. Or I could not be intimate emotionally, and I never understood this because I always assumed that this is how I'm supposed to be. Whether I don't want it, whether I don't feel it, whether I don't anything, I must still need to pleasure you, and invariably, that's what sex is about. Till I got into my relationship that I am now, and I'm telling you, it's still a struggle because I still have days where I'm just like, put it in me. And he's like, you're not even feeling it. You don't even want to do it. You don't even, you're not even close to being turned on, and you still want to do it. And I'm just like, I just put it in me. And he's like, no, but we're not going to. We're going to only do it when you want to. And I'm just like, and this is all still very new for me because it's been a year that we are in a relationship, and I had to like break down all those segregations in my mind, because every time, not we, but anytime other than this, I would have sex, I would never come, or I would come maybe once in like a while, but it takes a long while because I was so guilty inside. I, in my head, assumed that it's wrong to come, it's wrong to get satisfied, and I, like I said before, that I must satisfy the other person. So it took a lot of rewiring, it took a lot of reassessing my emotions and understanding, one, what I have been through, understanding that it was a lot, and understanding to forgive myself, because only once I did say that, okay, this happened and I must let go of it and I must forgive myself, because I kept holding on to it, I realized that I became this person who I was not, you know, that I then could never enjoy sex. I was doing it, but I could never enjoy it. And also on this, I was great at faking it because I watched so much porn. I was like this insane actress, which was also not a good thing, because then they always thought that they did it amazing, and Rewire should have told them. But I did teach a lot of people what to do and what not to do, but anyway, that's not the point. I just understood so much more about myself, and even today, even now, to be very honest, it's very difficult for me to forgive myself, and for me to see that is extremely intimate, it's extremely passionate, it's extremely emotional. And for me personally, I had to let go of so many other notions and actually be comfortable in and with myself, and forgive myself for who or whatever that happened, to actually enjoy sex right now. And I am so happy, because now even when I do have sex and when I want to have sex, I actually do come. And for me, that's great, you know. And I know it's not a lot, and I know I mentioned this before, because I do come once, and women have like this multiple orgasm, and most of my life I couldn't orgasm, and I used to feel so guilty about that, because I kept thinking that I am supposed to be everything else, and I realized that I'm not supposed to be anything. If I want to do it, I'll do it. If I want to come, I'll come. If I want to whatever, I will. And I realized that sex now is not a task, but it's something I actually enjoy doing when I want to do it. And I feel that's the difference, you know. And honestly, I feel like if you don't encounter your own self, like if you don't know what is causing you pain, if you don't try and heal or understand your pain or your wounds, you're going to start inflicting pain on other people. And again, forget other people. This is about yourself, you know. For me, for the longest time, I couldn't accept whatever happened, and I kept trying to, and it was the thing, I kept trying to sabotage myself in every other thing, because I kept honestly trying to feel the rape over and over again, because I was being emotionless, and I kept telling myself I have emotion, but I was not. And I kept trying to repeat the trauma again and again, because I was so used to pain and I loved the pain. But I also realized that I wanted to break free from that, and that I did not want, one, to be defined by that. Two, I didn't want my rest of my life to just be in that journey. I wanted to enjoy life. I wanted to fucking come, okay, to be more than fucking honest. And I feel like we all do have that, and we all need to take this opportunity, or take anything, and just introspect about ourselves. And I feel like that will help us go a long way. So yeah, bye.